Welcome to Auto Foresight. A charging time that sounds too good to be true tends to raise a second question before the first one is answered. The 2026 Zeekr 001 refresh carries a headline figure, 10 to 80% in around 7 minutes, that most electric cars in this class cannot get close to. But buyers who have been following this car closely have also been sitting with a different concern. The previous generation earned genuine praise for its hardware, then drew consistent feedback about software reliability from early owners. Zeekr has addressed that directly in this update. Whether the fix holds is the question worth working through. The Zeekr 001 is a large electric shooting brake. If that body style is unfamiliar, think of it as a fastback, a car with the long roofline and raked rear glass of a coupe, but with the interior space and practicality of a wagon. Is a shape that is rare in the electric segment, and that distinctiveness is a big part of why this car has an audience. Zeekr is part of the Geely Group, which also owns Volvo and Lotus. The 001 has been on sale in China since 2021, and the brand has been expanding carefully into select European markets. The 2026 refresh is more than a styling update. The electrical architecture, the battery options, and the software stack have all been changed. For anyone who dismissed the previous generation because of the reliability concerns raised by early adopters, this version is the one Zeekr would prefer them to judge the car by. The 001 occupies a specific space in the market. There is no direct rival at this price point offering a shooting brake body with charging performance anywhere near what Zeekr is claiming here. That makes it genuinely distinctive, and also means its appeal is concentrated. The buyer this car is built for wants something large, fast, and practical, and is willing to engage with a brand that is still building its reputation outside China. The architecture change is where the story starts. Chinese EV Post and Electrek both confirmed that the 2026 001 moves onto a 900-volt electrical system. Voltage, in simple terms, is the pressure at which electricity moves through the car's charging circuits. Higher voltage means electricity can flow faster without generating damaging heat, and that is what makes the 7-minute charge time physically possible, rather than just a marketing figure. Zeekr confirmed the 10 to 80% time for the 95 kilowatt-hour golden battery pack. To put that in everyday terms, most rapid public chargers across Europe and North America today are not yet built to deliver power at that speed. The hardware is ahead of where the charging network currently sits, and that is a practical consideration for anyone buying this car in the near term rather than waiting a few years. At the top of the range, Zeekr confirmed a combined output of up to 680 kilowatts across a dual-motor all-wheel drive setup, which is around 912 horsepower. For a large family-sized car, that places it in performance territory that established European brands charge significantly more to enter. There are two battery options. The 95 kilowatt-hour golden battery uses cells developed in-house by Geely rather than sourced from a third-party supplier. According to Chinese EV Post, this is a deliberate move to reduce dependence on external suppliers, and the reported durability figure attached to it is the detail most coverage has not engaged with seriously. After 1,500 charge cycles at that aggressive charge rate, the pack reportedly retains 92.1% of its original capacity. If that figure holds in real-world ownership over time, it addresses the concern that ultra-fast charging degrades a battery faster than conventional charging does. The second option is a 103 kilowatt-hour pack from CATL running at a slower charge rate, still fast by general standards, but not the headline figure. The powertrain numbers tell a clear story. The more interesting question is what sits underneath them. The shooting brake shape has not changed in its essentials. The long roofline, the wide stance, and the raked rear glass are carried over from the previous generation. And that is a reasonable decision, because the exterior was not what owners were raising concerns about. Zeekr has updated the front lighting and fascia details for the refresh, but the 001 is still immediately recognizable as the same car. Inside, the cabin prioritizes a sense of space over a driver-focused cockpit feel. Large screens, ambient lighting, and generous room for rear passengers give it a slightly relaxed character that sits in contrast to its performance figures. For anyone who finds the interiors of some high-performance EVs a little intense, the 001 offers a different approach. one that feels closer to a refined long-distance car than a track-focused machine. The processing hardware in the refresh is a meaningful upgrade. Zeekr confirmed that the 2026-001 runs on an NVIDIA Drive Thor U chip rated at 700 trillion operations per second. That number refers to the onboard computer's ability to handle data from the car's cameras, radar, and LiDAR sensors simultaneously and quickly enough to support advanced driver assistance features. In plain terms, is the difference between a system that can react and one that can anticipate. LiDAR itself is a sensor that maps the car's surroundings using laser pulses. It gives the system a detailed, real-time picture of the road that cameras alone cannot fully provide. Now, the honest part of this section. Early adopters of the previous generation, primarily owners in China and a smaller number in select European markets where the 001 has been available, reported software instability in forum discussions, including on the r/electric vehicles community. Screen freezes and system slowness were the complaints that came up consistently. Zeekr has stated that the software stack has been updated for the 2026 model, and the new processor hardware gives the system more headroom to run reliably. But software reliability is one of those things that only time and real ownership confirms. The spec sheet cannot answer it. The launch announcement cannot answer it either. For early tech adopters who followed the previous generation closely, that is the part of this car they will be watching most carefully, not the charging time, which is already extraordinary, but whether the day-to-day experience matches it. The refreshed 001 launched in China in late 2025, confirmed by Chinese EV Post and Car News China. Zeekr has been expanding into select European markets incrementally, but official pricing and timing for the 2026 refresh outside China have not been confirmed at the time this was produced. Anyone following the European rollout should check Zeekr's regional channels directly for the latest information, as the situation is still developing. The shift to in-house battery production for the Golden Battery Pack is one factor that could influence pricing. Reduced third-party supply costs point in one direction, new manufacturing investment points in the other. Where the balance lands for European buyers specifically is not yet known. For someone who bought the previous generation 001, drawn in by the performance figures and the charging promise, this refresh raises one specific question that no spec sheet fully resolves. The hardware they were excited about is now more capable than ever. The software concerns they lived with have been acknowledged and updated. But the proof of that update does not live in a launch event. It lives in 6 months of daily journeys, in long motorway runs, in whether the system behaves the same on a cold morning as it does in a showroom. That is the question the current owner community will be sitting with as the 2026 model reaches more hands. If you have followed the 001 closely, or if you have experience with the previous generation, drop that in the comments, because that real-world picture is the one thing this video cannot yet provide.